Lighthouses are located on the edges of the coastline. So what is this lighthouse doing here, so far inland? What happened here more than 65 years ago? But to find that out, we had to leave Flores.
If you haven't seen our video about Flores, check the link below. We had such a wonderful time in Flores, but we were sure Faial would reserve us many surprises.
As soon as we landed, we went straight to the Capelinhos lighthouse.
Walking on lava sand, or maybe ash, I don't know. Here in the 50s, a big volcano eruption arrived. Lighthouse here used to be at the end of land, but now just in front of it, just next to it, you have all this peninsula, all this new land, stretching all the way here. All the way here, new land. And the lighthouse unfortunately lost its activity because it was destroyed during the eruption, and many people fled Faial because it was dangerous, and their houses were destroyed, etc. So yeah, tragic story.
The lighthouse was constructed in the late 19th century and remained in activity until 1957, when a volcano eruption damaged part of the building and covered a big part of the lighthouse with ashes.
The eruption started at sea and lasted for over 1 year, triggering hundreds of earthquakes, spreading tons of ashes, destroying over 300 houses and causing the evacuation of more than 2,000 people. Fortunately, no one died. When the eruption finished, it had added more than 2 square kilometers of new land to Faial, and the lighthouse became eventually useless, now too far away from the coast. Well, here you see lava rock that you see all over the place here. Lava rock crunched by my feet.
After exploring outside, we were ready to go inside the interpretation center. The center is well organized and displays several exhibitions that explain about the eruption of the Capelinhos volcano in the sea, how it created new land, and what was the impact to the population. The building itself is a masterpiece of architecture, built underground in order not to interfere with the landscape.
Those interested in volcanoes can check the part of the exhibition dedicated to several volcanic activities throughout the world. And now let's climb up that lighthouse. Up. Here's the lighthouse. Gorgeous. And the head. And look at this. Wow. So this part is new due to the eruption of, it was a subaquatic eruption, so in there around here somewhere, but there was ocean. And yeah, and this was the old coastline. So how was it down there at the center?
Can you imagine that the eruption can happen again? The earthquakes can happen again any minute? We get a little bit scared, but otherwise it's very well done.
I asked the lady that did the tour if she thinks that an eruption would arrive in the next hour or so, because I was, planning to have lunch, and she said, yeah, no worries, anytime, but hopefully not during your lunchtime.
The center is really well done, and the building is amazing. The building is down here, so it hardly disrupts the landscape.
And this lighthouse, there is another floor. This is the first floor, so the ground floor is buried under ash.
But Capelinhos is far from being the only calamity that happened to the island. On our way to Horta, we came across another desolate view caused by a recent disaster. In 1998, the quiet village of Ribeirinha was hit by a strong earthquake. Today, the ruins of the church and the lighthouse still remind everyone of the power of nature.
But enough of dramas. There are beautiful landscapes around Faial, which include the many natural pools, and all we needed was a refreshing swim.
Well, George couldn't resist the temptation, and he went for another swim.
So much swimming made us thirsty, and as soon as we arrived in Horta, we found Peter's cafe and his famous gin near the marina. Peter's is where all the sailors come for a drink and a chat when they dock in Faial.
But the sailors also started a new tradition in Horta, which has kind of redecorated the marina. All sailors that dock at the marina leave a drawing to mark their presence. The result is thousands of paintings coloring the concrete harbor.
Horta was our base when visiting Faial. Horta is a lovely city of almost 8,000 inhabitants, with a vibrant marina, traditional Portuguese architecture, small cobbled streets, and many beautiful churches. Due to its marina, Horta enjoys a very cosmopolitan atmosphere.
The next day, we went for a hike that starts at Portopim Bay and leads to the top of Monte Guia, from where we had gorgeous views.
Rit. Rit. Wow, look at this. And there is the beach.
Here one has spectacular views over Horta and Portopim, but also over the other side of the mountain, where we had a perfect view of the volcanic cone of Guia and the Capelinhos, the two calderas on the sea.
Another highlight of Faial is the Caldera Grande. The eruption that created this caldera was also responsible for the creation of the island. What a view over the caldera and its rim. There's a trail all around the rim, which is approximately 7 kilometers long.
Our last days in Faial were spent around the marina, where we were lucky to assist to a regatta of the local sailing school. On our departure day, we were gifted with one of the most beautiful sunrises we had ever seen, with incredible views over Pico Island.
And that is exactly the next island we were heading to. Bye bye Faial, see you next time.
Curious about the Azores? Check out our 164 pages magazine entirely dedicated to the Azores on diariesof magazine.com.